obviously we've seen the work that you've done on the video in Hello Bears. What is it about bears that you love so much? What is it that attracted you to guiding it and showing people what the bears are all about?
There's so many myths and stories about bears and their... I'm just kind of nervous, sorry. I'm more comfortable with a 900-pound bear in front of me. I think bears are very much misunderstood, and they're not these ferocious creatures that want to kill everybody. They're gentle animals. They coexist well with other wildlife. They coexist well with us watching them. They like consistency in their environment, and as long as you respect them when you're out with them, you won't have a problem with them. And that just attracted me to their environment, and I wanted to teach other people about this, so to get rid of those myths, to stop the stereotypical view that people have on bears, and maybe then people will respect their environment and start conserving the bear's environment.
It sounds like you're doing it really well. People are really responding well to the way you do that. And do you have, among the bears that you go and watch, do you have a favourite? Is there one that you sort of recognise and look out for?
We do. There's approximately 30 bears that stay in the area and come back year-round. So in the spring, it's always nice to come back out and recognize the bears, because they all have different body features and scars, and you can recognize them. But there's one that we call Audrey. She is a very dominant female in the area, and she is just larger-than-life personality. And clients will actually come back year after year wanting to see Audrey.
Oh, wow, wow. So I want to see Audrey too. I'm sure everyone else does. And I had the opportunity, obviously, to speak to our guides here before we came out tonight. And I found out that Samara can also fly a plane. So I want to know, what's the thrill factor of flying a little plane compared to seeing a big bear?
Well, I still need a pilot in there when I fly, but the reason I learned how to fly, just in case something does happen to the pilot, because our camp is only accessible by bush plane, so it's a little 6-seat plane when I'm on the beach. So it's always good to know how to drive the thing, just in case.
Fingers crossed you don't need it for that reason, but fantastic, fantastic. And is there anywhere else you'd love to go and watch bears in the world?
Well, actually, we do a trip to Churchill, Manitoba to view polar bears, but I just went on a trip to Kaktovik, Alaska. It's the northern part of Alaska, to see polar bears. And hopefully we'll start doing tours there to make people see the polar bears.
Brilliant. I'm sure many of us will want to book on one of those really soon. Okay, and now we'll move on to Karina, who is Frankie for tonight, representing him, because sadly he can't be here. And I know that Frankie has a really interesting way that he came to be a guide, so do tell us how it happened.
I'm sorry for the disappointment that Frankie's not here instead, but you had a little feel of how he is from the video. When I asked him how he first came to be a guide, his words were that he was the man in his town who always went up, rushing up to foreigners wanting to get to know them. And he was wanted to be an ambassador and to meet different people and exchange visions of the world. But then one day he was told off that without a license he might get arrested and imprisoned. So he went to his English teacher and said, well, what are you going to do? The English teacher said, well, get a license. And so that is how he first became a guide. And he's ever since really loved, I think, the same things of being able to broaden his scope of the world through guiding.
Fantastic, and we're obviously very glad that he did. So what do you think it is about Frankie that makes him so popular?
He's just so enthusiastic and energetic. I mean, if he was here, he would still show, but he's really respected and loved by the locals as well. So it's not just his guests that fall in love with him. As soon as you meet him, you feel like he's a long-lost friend. And he's very worldly. I mean, he's interested and interesting. It's not just giving you information, but he also is interested to learn more about the world. And he always sort of stuns you in how up-to-date he is on world politics. And, but actually, it's the fact that he's such an entertainer and a teaser that just falls for him.
Well, it's such a shame he couldn't have been here.
Next year.
Yeah. And what do you think being nominated for the World Guide Awards means to him?
Well, it's the middle of the night for him now, and he's desperately constantly tweeting away, waiting to find out what's going on. So he's personally very, very, very excited, and wanted to make sure that I told, to send a big thank you to Lynn and Paul for the awards. And he really feels, I'm actually going to quote from him, says, I hope we can make the world a better place by means of tourism. We can inspire and encourage communities and people in the world to meet and greet, those are his words. And when I saw him back in August, he's always thinking, we were brainstorming ways that we were talking about the fact that during the summer months, the high season, he's always translating for us, our guests. But actually in the low season, we were talking about he could actually translate for the locals and think up ways that he can make a difference to the communities that he visits. And that is one of the reasons he's so delighted to be nominated. Actually, I don't think I told him that even the bronze people get a bursary, so he's going to be so thrilled that he will be able to make some financial difference. In the video, it was quite hard to fully understand him, but it was basically during Cyclone Nargis that he personally just realised that before the NGOs could get out to where the cyclone had hit, he got his friends together and he basically went through barrack orders that he wasn't meant to go through with trucks full, and he went 5 times to where the cyclone had hit and delivered food and clothing and materials for rebuilding. So he's kind of a hero locally, and it's very exciting that more people in the world get to know about him and other people like that.
Fantastic. So now we move on to you, Luca. And I understand that you've been driving now, jogging on for 7 years.
Sì, so the West Ham is good
Right.
too.
Time flying. And obviously it's 24 hours a day, isn't it? It's 7 days a week, it's a sort of very full-on job. So what sort of kept you going over the years? What is it that's made you sort of stay with it?
Definitely the variety, the opportunity that travelers give me to just drive pretty much all across the globe, which is amazing. And obviously, who brought me here tonight, so the passengers and people who come these trips and their enthusiasm and the wanting to know and everything like that.
And I understand that you've been to maybe 100 countries through your job. Is there anywhere in particular that really sticks in your mind as a favourite place?
It's a hard one. I mean, my heart is always going to be in South America. It's kind of my second home, if you want. But if I'm allowed to nominate one in each continent, probably that's okay. I'd probably say Ethiopia for Africa and Kyrgyzstan for Asia. Just two quite unknown, if you want, and amazing countries that they're creating, discovered, just a little bit, which you haven't been.
And of course, someone who's been to so many countries, I mean, I know we all here will have wish lists of places that we really want to go to next. What about for you? Where is next on your list of where you'd love to go?
Well, again, quite a few. I've just been working on a North America trip that was through Alaska, actually, and you know what I mean? So definitely up towards the Arctic regions and Siberia, Mongolia, everything up there. It's quite my wish list. Yeah.
And at least you've made a good contact now to help you get it to
Absolutely, yes.
that. Brilliant. Well, thank you, Luca. We'll just move on to Pupendra now. So we saw in the video that we saw there that you mentioned about using local transport and visit local schools. How important is it for you that you sort of bring in the local community with you while you're guiding?
Well, I am in this field the last 20 years, and I am enjoying my job. But the last 7 years, I'm working for G Adventure, and when I noticed like if we are using local transport, then we are helping directly the locals. So I feel personally my guests always enjoying when we are using bicycle rickshaws, tuk-tuk, and also we are always taking them to local restaurants where we can see how they are preparing meal, and, but the restaurant should be neat and clean, hygienic, and how people making like clay pots or things like that. So it's a little different than the other tour companies, and we can visit the school trips and something like that.
And from speaking to you earlier, I heard that you got your first pair of binoculars when you were just 7.
Yeah.
And you were really into the bird watching and the wildlife watching. So is that something that you still try and bring onto your trips with you?
Well, I'm from India and my hometown is very famous. All knows that. I'm from Bharatpur. So Bharatpur is very famous for the twitchers or bird watchers or serious professional photographers as well. So when I was 7, and I still remember it was 22nd of June, and my father gave me first binocular because and it was very cheap, not Swarovski or Leica, because we can't afford that, Yeah. But it was quite helpful for me, and at that time there was no camera or nothing. But I was making, the sketching or making photograph of by pen and pencil of the birds. Then my father also working for agriculture department, and we used to live in different cities, but outer cities. So I was always watching birds and just trying to find any walking trails where I can see any jackal or any owls or something like that.
And I hear that now on your trips that you guide, you actually give people the option that if they want to retire for the night, that's fine. If they want to come with you and spot an owl.
Yeah, it will be helpful for my guests because I used to work for Exodus, I used to work for Nature Track, and there was the special trips like tiger tour, bird watching tour, but now this time I am leading culture trip. But I am always informing my guests if they are interested. I'll be free all the time for them. Like after dinner, they can come with me and I can show them some owl, maybe nightjar, or during the night we can find any jackal or something like that.
I see. And as with Luca, where is on your wish list for a place to visit? Have you got somewhere you'd really like to see?
Sorry?
Is there somewhere you'd really like to go to and visit?
Yep. If you're talking about country, then I want to go to Canada and also Japan.
Brilliant.
Because I have been in England many times. And I feel very comfortable in England. Because I have friends all over the UK. Because as I told you, I used to work for Exodus and Nature Track. So that's why I have also friends, some nature lover friends.
And you're hoping to visit Dublin as well, aren't you, before you go?
I'm planning, it's not sure, but I never been Dublin.
Fingers crossed that you
But I have been Northern Ireland, which I found was a very nice country.
Well, I think you have a lovely time wherever you get to visit. So I know we're sort of really running out of time here, and I don't want to have to make you wait any longer.
And this time I don't need to apply visa. They will allow me.
Brilliant, okay.
And my UK visa till 2015, I have 5 years UK visa, so I don't have any problem.
Brilliant, right, well, let's all put everyone out of their misery, and I will invite back to the stage Lynn Hughes and Bill Bryson to announce the winners.
Why wouldn't they stay up there?
Thanks for being our guides. I should have mentioned before as well, I said about how over 1,000 guides were nominated, that after the guides had been shortlisted, we went back out to ask for testimonials, and each of the guides here tonight had at least 60 or so nominated testimonials each, and in fact I think we had well over 100, so all very, very popular. Anyway, so without further ado, we'll get on with it. So, first off is the Bronze Award. As I said, judging was very, very difficult. There was so little to choose between people. So actually, in the end, we came down to settle on 2 bronze award winners, each of which will win a £1,000 bursary, as well as Swarovski binoculars and no bad gear, etc., etc. So, yeah, a bit like the Oscars, can I give you a golden, but not quite golden member?
The bronze winners are Dupendra and Frankie.
Silver award, and this person, especially the middle, will get a £2,500 bursary, as well as binoculars and gear.
Oh my God. The silver winner is Samira. I believe the gold winner is Luca.